Once again, Mr. Hurst coming to you about the basic essay. In my previous video, I gave you a very basic construction form for a very basic 5-paragraph essay. Now again, I've got to reiterate that the previous structure was a very elementary structure. What I'm going to go over in this video is a little more elaborate of a structure for the basic essay. Now make no bones about it, this is still not what I expect you to have done by the end of your 9th or 10th grade year. But if you have no idea what you're doing in terms of essay writing, this is going to be a perfect introduction to you. This is an essay handout that I don't give to students, but I do put online at mrhurst.com. If you're having difficulty figuring out how to construct an essay, this is a great how-to that goes into specific detail, sentence by sentence, as to what you should be doing for each one of your essays. So, to start with, we're going to break down the typical introductory paragraph in any essay. On this particular essay form, we're going to focus on how to do an essay where you're focusing on a text, a literature work. So, your first sentence, you always want to catch the reader's attention with the hook. That's how you get them interested in your book. You want to just throw one sentence out there that's going to get them intrigued as to what it is you're going to explain. The second sentence of your introductory paragraph will typically include information about the author and the name of the book. This way the reader will be able to connect with exactly what it is you're going to be writing about. Sentence 3, you're going to move from just the name of the book and the author to a little more specificity in terms of what it is you're going to be writing about in your essay. At this point, you want to set them up for your thesis statement. You're working towards bringing them into the core of your essay. Sentence 4, as you can see here, you want to get a little more specific. Maybe you're focusing in on a character within the book. This is where you really want to drive exactly what you're going to be writing about home. And that will lead you to the thesis statement. Now, thesis statements could be anywhere in the essay. They don't have to be in the first paragraph, nor do they have to be in the last paragraph. But on this particular form, the way I've set it up is that the thesis statement is always going to be the last sentence of your first paragraph. Now again, I encourage you, go beyond this format. But if you're having difficulty just putting together a basic essay, this is a great starting point. So again, the last sentence of your first paragraph is where you could place your thesis statement. So, moving on, your first body paragraph comes immediately after the introductory paragraph, and the first sentence in that body paragraph has a specific job to do. It is the topic sentence. It introduces the main idea for the paragraph that you're about to write. It connects to your thesis, but it gives one aspect of the thesis. So say, for example, you were writing about why baseball is the best sport ever. In your first paragraph, you might say baseball is the best sport ever because, and give one reason as to why it's good. There's a lot of offense, or it highlights individual players. You could focus on one aspect of your thesis in the first body paragraph. Now moving on to the second sentence in your first body paragraph, this is where you would like to introduce a concrete detail. As we've previously stated in other videos, the concrete detail is going to be a fact or a piece of pertinent information that you are going to include within your essay. Typically, it's going to be some kind of evidence that backs whatever it is you're stating in the topic sentence. From there, you're going to come up with 2 commentary sentences. On these 2 commentary sentences, you're going to be telling us why that concrete detail is important. You're going to explain the purpose of using that concrete detail in the essay. You're going to explain how it connects to your topic sentence, or explain how it connects to your thesis statement. You really want to avoid summarizing at this point. You want to explain exactly why you have that concrete detail in your text. This is not a point for you to go off on some random tangent. These commentary sentences have a very specific job to do. Now, some essays will ask you to go even further and do a third commentary statement. If you saw the previous video that I had on the basic essay, you saw that the explanation used in that one focused on having 3 commentary sentences. Sometimes you need those 3 commentary sentences to explain exactly why you've got that concrete detail. Now, oftentimes you're going to hear the term a 2-chunk paragraph or a 3-chunk paragraph. What the chunks are in reference to are the combination of the concrete details and commentary sentences. As you can see, this is going to be a 2-chunk paragraph. We're going to have 2 concrete details and at least 4 commentary sentences. This second concrete detail is an additional piece of support that's going to support the topic sentence that you used at the beginning of this first paragraph. And then, of course, the commentary sentences are going to explain why you're using that concrete detail. Now, if we move along to the next page on this particular handout, you're going to see that it will go into everything. It will continue on with the optional commentary statement right there, just like we had in the first chunk. But then it's also going to have a transition statement, which is going to wrap up this paragraph and then bring us into the next paragraph as well. A transition will always tie everything together, but will also lead the reader to want to continue on to the next body paragraph. Now, this handout has spaces for each one of the body paragraphs, but the format for the body paragraphs on these is exactly the same as it was for the first body paragraph. So body paragraph 2, copy the same format that you just did for body paragraph 1. Same deal applies for body paragraph 3. On body paragraph 3, we're going to start with the topic sentence, move on to a concrete detail, then move on to 2 commentary sentences with a possible 3rd commentary, then a 2nd concrete detail, 2 more commentaries with a possible 3rd commentary. And there you have it. That'll take us to the end, where we come up with our concluding paragraph. Now, just as important as the introductory paragraph, the concluding paragraph also has a number of jobs that it needs to do. First of all, you need to rephrase the thesis. The last sentence in your first paragraph was the thesis statement. It was the one statement that everything in the essay is going to directly connect to. In this instance, you're going to take that thesis statement and move some of the words around. Expand the reader's vocabulary by being more descriptive with your words. Then, moving on to sentence number 2, this is where you are restating the information that was given in body paragraph number 1. So your topic sentence for body paragraph number 1, you're going to essentially reword that and put it right there. Same deal goes for body paragraph number 2. It's going to comprise sentence number 2 in our concluding paragraph. And of course, body paragraph number 3, we're going to summarize that one, and it's going to be the 4th paragraph in our 4th sentence in our concluding paragraph. And lastly, and perhaps most importantly, you've got the clincher. This is the final sentence in your essay. This is going to be one of the most important aspects of your essay because it leaves the reader with some thought as to why you wrote this essay. Give them something to think about. Address the point in a new way. Allow them to become involved in your essay. And there you have it. As you can see down at the bottom here, your final essay is going to be anywhere from 30 to 40 sentences, and hopefully you'll go beyond this, of course. But if you follow this exact handout called the Basic Essay, that's where it would take you, somewhere within 34 to 40 sentences. Now again, I cannot encourage you enough, go beyond this basic essay format. But if you're having difficulty trying to figure out how to write an essay, this is a great way to start it out.